What's up, guys? Matt Brown here for thelines.com, playpicks.com, and it is finally here. It is Super Bowl week, Super Bowl 55, going down between the Chiefs and the Bucs, and we are going to give you 5 tips for betting on Super Bowl 55. Before we get started, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. Give us a thumbs up and let us know in the comment section any bets you've already made, any bets you're looking at, or if you have any questions about any of the bets that you're looking at. We'll do our best to hop in those comment section and answer those as well. But without further ado, let's get down to the 5 tips. First and foremost, decide how you want to bet the game. Listen, sports betting is not the same for everyone. It's not a cookie cutter thing. I mean, some people are big bettors and they're okay with grinding out, the tiniest of edges to come out with any sort of profit. Some people are far more casual bettors and just want to have a good time. And listen, even if you are a guy that grinds during the course of the season, the Super Bowl is a different entity, right? I mean, at the end of the day, we have a full menu throughout the course of the season, which makes it much easier to bet. You find the games where you feel like you have an edge, and you bet those games, and you pass on the games where you don't have an edge. Well, the Super Bowl is just one game. You have one option, and that's the only thing that you can bet. So decide how you want to go about this. Are you going to sit there and are you going to grind this thing through the entire time, basically sit in front of your computer or on your phone? That's perfectly fine, and have that in mind when you go into it. Or are you going to a Super Bowl party with a bunch of buddies? You're going to throw a few back. You might have some, might have a few too many or something along the way. If that's the case, that is also perfectly fine. But don't get too heavily involved in the game if that's what you're going to plan on doing, where you don't have a chance to take advantage of in-game or buy your way out of things, or maybe you just don't want to pay attention to all those other things that, as far as this goes. You just want to sit back and have fun. And if that's the case, maybe you just put in some casual bets or something like that. But biggest thing is, number one, decide how you want to go about attacking the game, and then we can really get started. Number 2, it sounds simple, but shop lines. I mean, listen, it is one of those things where I know we say this all the time. I mean, we go right here. We know the typical lines that you're going to be shopping, right? Here's the odds, and we're going to shop the lines and all that. But guys, you can really shop lines in all different ways, and specifically with prop bets. If you want to get involved with prop bets for the NFL Super Bowl this year, you need to go ahead and sign up for some multiple accounts and make sure that you're shopping lines. Let's just take, for example, Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady passing yards. We're sitting here at DraftKings. You see 325 for Mahomes, 295 for Brady. If we flip right over here to BetMGM, look, 300 for Brady, 329 for Patrick Mahomes. If we head over to William Hill, even, Patrick Mahomes, again, we come down here, look, 335. So we're talking 10 yards of difference just between DraftKings and William Hill over here. So when we take a look at these things, you got to make sure that you're shopping lines specifically on the prop bets. And one of the great things about all of this that you can do is taking advantage of all of the tools that we have over here on the lines. And if you click on the Super Bowl betting guide and you scroll down here to the bottom, we have it right here. All you have to do, type in a player's name, and bam, it's going to show you all of the different props for that guy. So this is an invaluable tool if you are going to be betting props this season. And of course, any of the legal states that you're in, you just click right there and it'll show you the number and the book that it is available in your state. So again, be sure to go to the lines, click on this article. It's also in the description below, the link to this, to the betting guide, and come down here and take advantage of this, because shopping lines, especially in these prop lines, it can bring so much value to you as you are going about betting the Super Bowl this year. Number 3, avoid bad bets. And I know that sounds simple, and I might even ask me, well, how the hell do I know what a bad bet is in the first place? And some of these bets, guys, look, if it seems like it's a little bit off, it probably is. So there's a bet out there that you can make on the number 1 rusher for the entire Super Bowl. So who is going to have the most rushing yards in the Super Bowl? One of the options is Tom Brady. Tom Brady's rushing prop for the Super Bowl is a half a yard. It is over under 0.5 yards. Yet Tom Brady is being offered as the leading rusher for the entire Super Bowl, and he's only being offered at somewhere in the neighborhood of 250 to 1. Add a couple of zeros to that, and it still might not be worth betting. So again, different little things like that. There's also a prop that is, will the opening kickoff be returned for a touchdown? And guys, yeah, that might be a fun one to be holding. And I understand that, you have a sweat from the very beginning. But let me just throw a couple of stats at you just real quick. Bradley Pinion, who does kickoffs for the Bucs, he had 100 kickoffs on the season. 85 of them were touchbacks. Harrison Butker for the Chiefs, he had 95 kickoffs, 72 of which were touchbacks. So you are only talking about 15% of the kicks that even have the opportunity to be returned for a touchdown at the beginning of the game, much less the process of actually catching the kick and successfully returning it for a touchdown. The odds, by the way, for this are hovering somewhere in the 50, 60, 70 to 1 type range. Again, that would need another 0 or 2 before that bet is worth being made. So again, some of these things, if you just look at them and they seem a bit off, like Tom Brady leading the game in rushing yards or the opening kickoff being returned for a touchdown, things like that, just avoid those. It's not worth the sweat. It's not worth it at all. And you're going to just end up lighting the money on fire. It's way better to put that money to good use in a bet that you can actually win. Number 4, make sure your prop bets align with how you think the game is going to play out. This is one of the biggest things that you can do that will help you make money on Super Bowl Sunday. One of the things that I see too many people do is, let's go ahead and we'll take a look over here at the game lines. And they're like, oh, you know what? Okay, so I'm on the under for the game. I'm on under 56.5. I'm definitely on under 56.5. I think this game goes under. No way in the world that this game is going to go over 56.5 points. And then I'll see people go over to the quarterback market over here, and they'll say like, yeah, okay, I'm going to take the over on 3.5 touchdown passes for Mahomes, and I'll take the over on 3.5 touchdown passes for Brady as well. And you have that in the account. Well, if you like the under, you can't come back and bet over 3.5 touchdown passes for both of the guys. At that point, you're talking about 8 touchdown passes. That alone puts you right at where you're going to be as far as getting the game over. So you got to make sure that when you go about this, like, have a game script in mind. How do you think the game is going to play out? I like the Chiefs because X, Y, and Z. Or I like the Bucs because X, Y, and Z. And the way that they get there is A, B, and C. Or I like the over because of X, Y, and Z. And the way that happens is A, B, and C. And then correlate your prop bets with the way that you think the game is going to play out. You can't bet the under and then bet over on all the props, because if they're flying over on yardage and flying over on touchdowns and all the things like that and flying over on receptions, you're not going to be able to hit your under. And the same thing is if if you think this game's going to go over and you start betting a bunch of unders on different things. And so just make sure that as you go through, when you're betting your props, they're also telling the story of the way that you think the game is going to play out. And finally, number 5, guys, have an in-game strategy before you get going. And that is if you plan on betting in-game. Don't go at it all willy-nilly. Listen, in-game is great for a couple of different reasons. One, it allows you to keep betting throughout the game after you've actually seen some things happen, right? If you don't like what you see, you can bet the other way of maybe where you are. And listen, these are all great things about in-game, but you need a strategy when you go in. Are you super, super heavy on the Chiefs? Are you super, super heavy on the Bucs? And it's not going your way? Do you have enough in your bank account? Do you have enough in your bankroll? Do you have enough in your account to buy off your position if you think that you're on the wrong side of something? Or are you very, very bullish on, the Bucs, and you're getting 3 points before kickoff or 3.5 points before kickoff? Say the Chiefs get the ball first and they go down and score. You're going to get more than 3 or 3.5 that you got pregame, and your team hasn't even touched the ball yet. So these are all things that you need to know whenever you're heading into the Super Bowl. Like, what is going to be my in-game strategy? Do I think that this game's going to be a high-scoring game? Do I think that these teams might need a little bit of time to feel each other out? Well, maybe it starts a little bit slow and that total trickles down. and you're going to pounce on the over right then and there. So you've got to make sure that you have a strategy whenever you enter. Is it, I want to get on the Bucs at more points? Or is it, hey, I kind of hope that the Chiefs go down because I'd like to get on the Chiefs at less than a field goal? Is it something to do with the total? I think this is going to be high scoring / low scoring. Couple of early scores and the total shoots up. Maybe you come in on the under if they think that this game slows down later on as it goes. Or vice versa, if you like the over. If maybe it starts out a little bit slower, you come in on the over as the in-game total trickles down. But whatever it is, just make sure you go in with a strategy to make sure you're maximizing your in-game efforts. Guys, those are 5 quick tips here for making some money on Super Bowl Sunday, Chiefs and the Bucs, Super Bowl 55. As always, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. Give us a thumbs up and let us know in the comment section, the bets you've already made, bets you're thinking about making, or if you have any questions about bets, we'll get in there and try to answer some of those questions for you as well. Be sure, and we're gonna have stuff on the channel all week long, so be sure and pay attention, and good luck on all your bets for Super Bowl 55.